Okay, so welcome. We are recording. So I just want to welcome you to tonight's launch event. I am so excited for Faith. Um, she is launching her. Sorry, I just want to make sure I get this off. She is launching tonight, and we are just so happy to have her as a part of our community. My name is Rihanna. And we're so excited you're joining to learn how one simple change can make a huge difference in your health. I didn't always have the thriving health that I have today, but I'm so excited to share what changes I've made over the last 6 years, and the information that has definitely been a game changer for my life and my family's life. And I'm thankful that I could say that as well for Faith. So, Faith invited you to here today, and that just means that she cares a whole lot about you. And that if you've come here tonight to kind of listen about what she can, what is she up to? We just like to let you know that she has joined a mission, and she has joined a community whose mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. And we have all kinds of free resources to do that. Everything from free cookbooks to a kids program called the Strong Start program, Facebook support groups, and as well as a monthly online education and support. And so, again, we just want to welcome you, and we're going to get started right away. Okay, so we would just want to start with asking you a simple question. Those are all the support things there that we've got in our community. So how are you taking care of you? Are you eating enough real food? That means getting lots of plants, all right? Not food out of boxes or packages. Are you exercising at least 3 to 5 times a week and getting that body moving? Are you drinking tons of water, enough water? And are you sleeping 7 to 8 hours of rest? Of all the lifestyle changes you can make, the one that is the most proven to make the biggest impact on your health is to consume a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. Dr. William Sears, who's known as America's favorite pediatrician, is also a part of this healthy living community. And he says that 75% of all chronic illnesses and diseases are preventable through good nutrition. And we do believe that here at the Healthy Living community, or Healthy Living Revolution. So there are 2 startling trends in our world. The first one being that our environmental toxins are increasing. No matter where we go, the toxic load on our bodies, it's in our water that we drink, it's in the air that we breathe, it's in our food supply. Unless we live in a plastic bubble, we are continually inundated by toxins. The other is that our food quality is decreasing, unfortunately. We've got all kinds of things in our food and on labels, some of the things that we can't even pronounce, but our food quality is becoming less and less like food and more like toxic waste in our bodies. And so these are things that are a huge problem. So moving on, let's talk about oxidative stress, because oxidative stress is basically what happens as a result of increased environmental toxins and that decreased quality in our food supply. It's wreaking havoc on our body. There are other causes to oxidative stress as well, like smoking, like exercise, stress. Stress is a big one. Anybody stressed out there? And medications, even flying in an airplane, and pregnancy. I mean, when you're growing a human inside your body, that can cause some stress to a body as well. And all the moms said, amen. I'm a mom of 3, so I definitely know what that's all about. And this is important to understand because oxidative stress and oxidation to our cells causes aging and disease. It says here that in each human cell, the DNA is hit about 10,000 times a day by mutagenic oxidants. And this illustration here that we see here with the apple, if you cut an apple in half and you leave it out and you go to work or whatever, and you come back to it, what happens to it? It's gonna turn brown, right? But if you actually add some lemon juice to it, which is like something we learned right from our moms and our grandmas, like if you're making a fruit salad and you've got apples and bananas and stuff in there, you're putting lemon juice in there to keep it from turning brown, right? Right. That's something that so many of us have known for years. Well, the reason why we're squeezing lemon juice is because lemon juice is full of a very strong antioxidant that helps prevent the oxidation to the cells in that apple. And it keeps it from aging. It slows down the aging process. And essentially, that's exactly what's happening in our bodies. When we have enough antioxidants in our bodies, we are able to slow down the aging process. And how many of us want that, right? We know that our best defense to aging and illness are antioxidants. So the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they are so good for you that they could help save your life. And we know that we need fruits and vegetables. Some of us even know that we need to eat 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, but almost nobody ever does. How many of you have had 7 to 13 servings of fruits or vegetables today? I can't see your hands, but I bet there's not very many hands up right now. I should put mine down because I did not have that many servings today as well. Almost no one does, and certainly not the variety or the consistency of that. Welcome, who's ever joining. Just mute your line.
Biological child or adopted?
There you go. So we're not getting the quantity of fruits and vegetables, and we're also not getting the quality, and we're certainly not getting the variety of fruits and vegetables. So just like that, that lemon that I was telling about, the lemon juice that has all the antioxidants, apples, kale, spinach, oranges, plants basically have a whole lot of phytonutrients, or what we call plant chemicals or plant nutrients in them, that are basically antioxidants to our body. So most people know that we're not eating enough of fruits and vegetables every day. So 70% of Americans actually turn to vitamins or supplements to try to replace what they're not getting in fruits and vegetables. So let's talk about the difference between fruits and vegetable, or let's talk about the difference between plants and multivitamins, okay, or whole food and vitamins. A vitamin has maybe 35 to 50 or so isolated nutrients in it, whereas this apple here, what you see here listed, are actually about 400 different phytonutrients or plant chemicals that are found in an apple. Scientists actually believe and know that there's more like 10,000 phytonutrients in an apple. These are just the 400 of them that have names. They're still trying to come up with names for the other plant chemicals in an apple. So there's no comparison. If I can get all of these nutrients in an apple compared to maybe 30, a half a dozen or a couple dozen or so in a multivitamin, which one would you like? Okay. I know I want all that I can get. I want all the nutrients I can get from the apple. The other thing that's happening in the apple is that we're not dealing with isolated nutrients. We're dealing with nutrients that are in the right ratio. They're in the right balance with each other. And the body knows what to do with all of these because it's food. And that's the way our bodies were designed to take in nutrition, was in food. As opposed to the multivitamin, it's been taken out of food and therefore it doesn't have the power and the potency in our body, and our bodies don't absorb it at the same rate. So that's an issue with part of why Americans especially are not as healthy even after eating multivitamins and supplements all these years. So moving on, it's important to eat as many fruits and vegetables as you can possibly eat on a daily basis, even beyond the minimum recommendation. So maybe you are someone who does eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. And this is great, but it's important to know that our fruits and vegetables today are actually picked way too early, because they have to go on a truck. It has to travel thousands or hundreds of miles across the country before it can get to us. So it's actually not as nutrient dense as it could be. So it's picked too early. And like I said, transported thousands of miles across. And that's why we need at least 7 to 13 servings per day, because we're not getting the nutrient dense. It is lost a lot of its nutritional punch. And some varieties has lost 5% to a whopping 40% of their nutrient content. So a serving is the size of your fist. And if you're a serious athlete, you actually need more, like 16 to 18 servings per day. Golly, I can't even imagine. Like, I just need to be eating full time to have that many servings of fruits and vegetables a day. I'm so thankful that I have learned about the simple way to add more fruits and vegetables to my diet and my family's diet on a daily basis. So here is where I'm going to actually ask Faith to unmute herself and tell her story quickly about what has made the difference in her body since she has started learning and started this Juice Plus product here. Gosh, I don't know how long it's been now. So I'm excited to hear from you, Faith, today.
Well, I am a Juice Plus 2-timer. My family was introduced to Juice Plus in 2011, 2010, when we decided to have a health and wellness segment to one of our family get-togethers. And at that time we were introduced to the product, we thought it was so informative, the information that we learned during that session. And we were really excited about that new knowledge. We shortly thereafter began to use Juice Plus, and our children had been having repeated problems, gastroenterology problems, and had been seeing doctor after the doctor repeatedly with these unresolved issues, including one of my children having encopresis, which is just horrible to have to deal with. Well, we noticed that after our family had been using Juice Plus about 3 months, that they were beginning to have less problems. After 6 months, they both ended up being completely discharged, and we had been going back and forth to the doctor, I think, for over 2 years with one of them, and close to that with the other one. And so we were just amazed by that result. My husband started having better results, over-the-road truck driver, feeling better and having more energy, and me dealing with my chronic illness, also noticed that I was able to do more. So like a lot of people do, you get to feeling better and you sort of back away from what was making you feel better, and you think you're going to be okay. Fast forward to 2018, when my husband died from illness in February, the 2nd of February, and I ended up hospitalized in March, mid-March, and would spend 40 days in a hospital and in a nursing home. And when I was laying there thinking, what am I going to do? I'm sick. And they were telling me I was not going to get better. And I was just reflecting on some of my choices. And during that process, I remembered that before, when I was sick, that we had used Juice Plus. But I was in that facility for a while, and it took a few months for me to get myself together, recovering from that illness. And so mid-year last year, I think it was August, after I'd been out of the facility for a few months, I reconnected with Juice Plus, and I started taking it again. What I noticed was that where my illness, which is systemic exertion intolerance disease, and what that means is, it means that my my body retaliates against me for doing normal activities like taking a shower, cooking a meal, sweeping the kitchen floor. So for my body, that's sort of like preparing for a marathon compared to other people's bodies. My body, if you think of it this way, my recharger does not work to full capacity. So the more I do, the less energy I have. And this includes being exerted upon as well, light, conversation, sound, all of that. So once I started taking the Juice Plus, I noticed that when I went to church on Sunday, if I attended 2 services where I once was incapacitated for 2.5 days, I was beginning to be able to function after 1 day of bed rest and recovery. That was huge for me because what that allowed me to do was to move from getting a shower every 2 to 3 days, depending on how long I was down, how long my recovery took, to being able to hop up and get a shower every morning, being able to do food prep, being able to actually go out with my daughter. And so my recovery time was significantly reduced, and my and someone sent me a message. Sorry about that. Trying to get into the group. But my recovery time was significantly reduced, and I was able to exert myself for longer periods of time without having a crash. And so that was huge for me because it just totally added to my quality of life for myself and being able to be there for my daughter and my grandkids, the rest of my family. So I have hopes that as I continue to use Juice Plus, that I will continue to see improvements. And I just want to add that my doctor is super excited for me about the changes that she's seen. And I've even shared what I'm using with her. She's very interested in that.
That's so exciting because when the medical field starts when their eyebrows starts raising them and like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Then you know you're on the right track. And for me, when I was introduced to this, I have to tell you, like, I literally was just thinking, I know that my family needs more than what I am offering them in the world of fruits and vegetables. I just knew that as a mom, I was not providing them with enough nutrition. So when someone came to me and said, hey, I have a way that I can help you get more fruits and vegetables into your family's bodies, I'm like, you mean just me? And she's like, no, your whole family. And that was amazing to me. So I'm like, where do I sign up? Because we got picky eaters. I got kids that don't want to touch anything green. I don't like fruits and vegetables. So where do I sign up? And so we started, I was actually able to get my Juice Plus for free for my kids, which we'll talk about later. But we immediately started seeing changes in my children. I used to hit a wall every day at about 1:30 where I just could not I had chronic fatigue. It just didn't, my body was not making enough energy. And for only being in my 30s, that was just, that was too young to be feeling like I got no energy at 1:30 in the afternoon. So my energy went through the roof after a few months, couple of months, 2 to 3 months. I could tell you, I started noticing some differences in my energy level. My husband, who is the guy who gets sick first before everybody else, he used to struggle with the shingles virus flaring up in his body every summer for some reason. So if anybody knows what the shingles virus is or how painful it is, yeah, it is not fun. And I'm talking about in his 30s, y'all, he was dealing with the shingles. And that's usually something that you don't deal with until you're in your upper 60s or 70s or something, because it has to do with a weakened immune system. He was getting it in his 30s. So his immune system obviously wasn't that great. But for the last 4 years now, since he's been taking it, he's been able to fight off the shingles virus. I have to say the biggest change that we have seen, the most significant change that we've seen, has been with my daughter. My daughter was born with significant severe special needs. She was born with a neurological disorder called Rett syndrome. She was born not able to walk, not able to talk, and the brain controlling everything in the body. If something's not quite right in your brain, almost any bodily function can also not go quite right. And so she was having issues with chronic vomiting. She would vomit multiple times a day. She had an irregular heart rhythm. Her heart would not beat right. She would have seizures on a daily basis. So many different health issues that sent us to the ER. Anywhere from 4 to 6 times a year, we would be stuck in the ER. We'd be there for 10 days, 13 days, 14 days. We've had multiple surgeries throughout her 15 years of life, but I have to tell you that when we started being able to actually put these plant powders in through her feeding tube, we started seeing things happen, and we started seeing her being able to come off of her medications. We've been kicked out of all of her specialist doctor's appointments because they're like, we can't do anything to treat her. She's not having any problems anymore. Her heart rhythm is back to normal. She's not having any more seizures. I know, it's so exciting. She's not vomiting on a daily basis. We can actually leave the house, without being worried if she's going to vomit in public or not. And so her quality of life has significantly increased. And I have to tell you, it's the thing that I know has kept us a family of 5 instead of going down to a family of 4. It has saved her life on more than one occasion. So I am super grateful for what the power of plants is able to do into our body. So we're going to kind of keep talking about this one simple change. So let me go back to sharing my screen. And welcome again if you're just joining us. So moving on, this is the one simple change that we're talking about. We made this one simple change to get more fruits and vegetables every day in our body. It's called Juice Plus, and it's a way to add more than 30 raw vine-ripened fruits and vegetables in a capsule or in a delicious little chewable. And it's vine ripened. So we're not talking about food that's been harvested too early, like a lot of foods that you would get from your grocery store. It's so important that we know that, because over half the nutrients of a plant is developed in the last 2 to 3 days of the ripening process. And after the produce is picked, they are juiced and dried and put into a capsule or a chewable. So they even include many of the peels and the seeds and the leaves that are in the plant, because there's a lot of nutrition in those parts. But those are many times the parts that we're not eating when we're getting it from the grocery store. We're leaving those parts out, or we're throwing it in the trash. So an orange, for an example, in an orange, up to 80% of the vitamin C that's found in an orange is actually found in the peel, not in the fruit itself. So I don't know about you, but I'm not eating very many orange peels. In fact, I'm not eating orange peels at all because it's kind of bitter. It's kind of gross. So, and it's also found a lot of vitamin C in the skin of a pineapple. Okay. But they're in Juice Plus. They're in this product because they're keeping all of that good stuff in there. And it's like getting the whole rainbow. Every day you're getting a huge variety of fresh produce every day. It's not a substitute for the real thing, but it is helping us to bridge the gap. So at Acerola Cherry, if you look through this list, Acerola Cherry, which we know is the healthiest cherry that there is, apple, beets, peaches, pineapple, lemon peel, cranberry, dates, oranges, mangoes, prunes, beets again, we get beets twice, broccoli, rice bran, so we have whole grains as well, cabbage, we get lemon grains, lemon peel again, parsley, carrots, look at all this goodness. And then we've got these 9 powerful antioxidant filled berries, like bilberries and black currant and blackberries. I mean, where you can't even find certain of these things in the grocery store. So it's so impressive what they have found for us and how they managed to have such great produce that we're able to get in our bodies every day. So let's talk about the Juice Plus shakes. Okay, first of all, can I just talk about how delicious these shakes are? So they're first of all, they're delicious. I crave them every day. I pretty much have one for breakfast or make it into a smoothie almost every day. My own 12 and 13-year-old boys get up and make their own smoothies. So you get chocolate and vanilla, and they are vegan. They're gluten-free. They are non-GMO, and it is a whole food protein fiber with fiber and amino acids and fruits and veggies. That's what's making up this shake. And like I said, it's plant-based protein, and it's got these powerful prebiotic fiber and oligosaccharides, which is really just a fancy way of saying it's really, really, really good food for the good bacteria in your gut. So it's feeding the good bacteria that's in your gut and making them more able to get together and multiply in number, making your gut a lot more healthier. And who's all for gut health? Because gut health is really, really an important thing. So this is the macronutrition. The stuff that we were looking at, the capsules, that's more of your micronutrition, or the capsules. So we have the micronutrition of the fruits and veggies in the capsule, where you're getting little amounts of all these different kinds of foods every day. And then this is your macronutrition. This is kind of like the gas in your car, what makes you go. You need to have those healthy fats, those healthy proteins, and those healthy carbs every day. Okay, so I really, really, really love these shakes because it's a no-brainer of what I'm going to have for breakfast in the morning. And I know that I'm going to have something that's going to help keep my blood sugar stabilized. So anybody who are pre-diabetics or diabetics, this is perfect for them because it's helping them to start their day with a very low glycemic breakfast, but something that's going to help stabilize their sugar over the next several hours, instead of eating something that's super high in sugar, going like this, and then crashing in a very short amount of time. So if you can imagine, when you add the Juice Plus Trio capsules to a shake every day, you are actually getting somewhere over 50 different whole foods on a daily basis. Whew, talk about bridging the gap. I know that that's not going to happen unless I'm eating this from this amazing product called Juice Plus. There's no way I'm getting mango and berries and spinach and kale and cherries and prunes and all these berries. There's no way I'm getting all that in every day. Okay. So let's talk about what are some of the ways that Juice Plus is unique. Okay. It's 45 whole foods with a food label. We're not talking again about a multivitamin. We're not talking about a supplement. We're talking about food itself. It's got a food label. That means that the FDA actually looks at what are in these capsules, chewables, and in these shakes, and looks at it as food, as if you were to pick up a bag of broccoli and look at the ingredient and it would say broccoli, right? And they would have a nutrition label, not a supplement label. So that's what makes it stand apart from a multivitamin or any other supplement out there, is the fact that it has a food label, a nutrition facts label, not a supplement label. It's full of phytonutrients. It's non-GMO. It's dairy-free, gluten-free, and it's NSF certified, which just means that it's a private third-party company that's coming in and certifying that Juice Plus products have whatever is on the label is inside the product, and whatever is inside the product is on the label. Okay. And they stringently test for pesticides, for mold, bacteria, heavy metals, stimulants. It has to be proven to be a clean, high quality product to pass the test of the NSF company. And it is also proven to be safe for the elderly, safe for children, people of all ages, whether you're pregnant, nursing, like I said, they're elderly, and even professional athletes. We have a lot of Olympians that are actually using this as a product because of this NSF certification, because it has been proven to be clean. And then we have over 35, I think we're at 38 published clinical studies. And I love this part because you guys heard my story, which I think is powerful. You heard Faith's story, which is powerful. But what is amazing is we actually have the research to back up our stories. And Juice Plus is the most researched nutritional product in the world. And what you see listed here are so many different institutions, the medical institutions and educational hospitals and things where they do research on products all the time. And these are gold standard, randomized, double-blind, placebo controlled testings. Okay, so we're not just talking about something somebody did down the street, you know. It's like these are the highest quality of scientific research that you can get. Okay, and it's tested on the product itself in humans, and it's published in a peer-reviewed medical journals, all kinds of different journals. So if you actually ask Siri, if you have an iPhone and you actually ask Siri, what is the most nutritional or researched nutritional product in the world? Tell me what she says. Siri will actually tell you Juice Plus, which I think is super fun. So, okay, so moving on, what some of the research has found, this is what some of the research has found. It's that Juice Plus is bioavailable, which just means that it is absorbable into your blood. It actually absorbs right into your blood cells. That Juice Plus contributes to cardiovascular wellness. Well, how many of you guys know what the biggest killer, what the biggest disease is in this country? A lot of people say it's cancer, but it's not. It's cardiovascular disease. Okay, people dropping with heart attacks left and right, especially in the African American community. We got to do something about that. And fruits and veggies have a lot to do with the answer and the solutions to the problem. Juice Plus supports immune health. Juice Plus also helps to protect DNA. It reduces oxidative stress. These are the things that we can say because the research has found this, has proven this to be true. Supports healthy skin, healthy gums, a healthy inflammatory response, supports quality of life in cancer survivors, improves metabolism in overweight boys, supports lung health in smokers, which is huge, you guys. That's huge. Can actually reverse the damage in the lungs of a smoker. That study right there had me like, oh my goodness. And so it's just amazing and phenomenal the power that's happening in people's lives when they start consuming this nutrition. So the global family health study that this company has is a way for children ages 4 all the way up to college and undergrad to receive their Juice Plus for free. So earlier in the call, I said something about this, that the results, that when they have an adult sponsor, so an adult is buying their Juice Plus, they can get free Juice Plus for one child for every adult product, every adult juice capsule order that is purchased. So the results that these families are experiencing is a true testament that Juice Plus is inspiring healthy living around the world, not just in adults, but even in children. And these are some of the family studies that have been done. I love these numbers because it's showing us that people are changing their generations. They're changing their DNA, and they're changing what health is for their children and their children's children. And you guys, there's nothing better than leaving a healthy legacy, a godly legacy. Absolutely. But also just being able to know that you are leaving a legacy of health for your children, and then they're passing that down hopefully for their children, and so on. So I love what this study means. I love that it's helping children to become more aware about their health so that they can continue to pass on to their children as well. And maybe we are not, as African Americans especially, maybe we're not going to stay in this place where we have the highest amount of heart disease and obesity and diabetes and things like that. I'm really hoping to change that. So let's just talk about real quickly about another way that we can increase the amount of fruits and veggies in our bodies. This is actually called the Tower Garden. And we actually have the rights to market this particular aeroponic growing system. It uses 98% less water, 90% less space. It grows 3 times faster than traditional growing, and you get 30% more yield. I actually have 2 of these. I have one that's growing in my living room right now, and it's growing all kinds of greens and things on it that we can eat all, throughout the winter months, which is really, really fun. And if you want to see a picture of more pictures of the Tower Garden, make sure you get in touch with Faith and we can show you some more. And then the Juice Plus Omega Blend is actually the newest product that Juice Plus has come out with. It is a plant-based omega product. It has the full spectrum of omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. What we did was we bypassed the fish and went straight to the source to bring you a blend of 5 omegas from algae, berries, and seeds. So what a lot of people don't know is that fish don't make omegas. They just they eat omegas from the algae in the ocean, and they store the omegas in their skin. But the problem is we're killing a whole lot of fish just to try to get a little bit of omega oil from their skin. So this process of actually just going right to the source, the algae plant itself, and getting omegas that way instead of going through so much fish to get a little bit. We have to actually kill off 4 pounds of fish to get one little serving of fish oil. And that's not sustainable. So we decided to just forget that. And so this is one of the first completely plant-based omegas out there. And I love, since I've started this, my eyesight is actually improving at a more exponential, quicker rate. My hair is growing faster. My skin is not nearly as dry. It's just amazing what these omegas are doing. Okay, and then moving on to one of our favorite things. This is a program that actually helps you to shred the food, the toxins, and the habits. And for some of us, the stories that are not serving you. This is a 4-month lifestyle program with a 10-day jumpstart. And this is one of the ways that we are helping people to take their health back. We're not just looking at adding more and more food, more real food and water. We're also looking at being able to help instill healthy habits that we know make a difference. So it's about shredding certain habits that are not good and then we have a 10-day jumpstart where you're following guidelines as closely as possible. And we give you a shred guide and a cookbook, and we put you in a support group with a bunch of fun people who are also trying to shred some things and learn some new habits, okay? So as we wrap up, we just want to make sure we take some time to kind of invite you to join us. And you might fall into it. We have 3 different categories where you might fall into. So the first category is some of you might be inspired to eat more fruits and vegetables. After learning all this information about oxidative stress and the power of the antioxidants that's found in plants, some of you might just want to eat more fruits and vegetables. Okay. And that's great. The second group, some of you also might want to make one simple change and add Juice Plus to your diet. You want to help bridge that gap by something as simple as eating some capsules or some chewables or drinking a shake. And that's great too. For less than a cup of coffee a day, you can add over 30 different raw fruits, veggies, and berries to your diet on a daily basis and get free for your kiddos. Okay. So honestly, this is that's amazing. $2.38 a day. Okay. And then C, maybe you've been sitting here thinking about how you can share this information. Maybe you're thinking of somebody that came to your mind. Oh my gosh, so-and-so needs to hear this. Somebody with diabetes or somebody with heart problems or somebody who's just had such a hard time with their health. Maybe somebody's come to mind and you're thinking this information would be so helpful for them and that you would love to tell them about what you've learned here tonight. And the option to share this with others, maybe even a second income stream for yourself, where you're able to own your own Juice Plus franchise, like what Faith has started to do, and increase that income stream, another income stream for your family. So maybe that's you. So please just get back to the person who invited you to either if you're watching the recording or if you're on with us watching tonight, and let them know about where you are. Are you A, B, or C? and ask them if there's any other questions that you have about what you've heard tonight. But ultimately, we just want to thank you for watching. We want to thank you for joining us, because what we love to do in this Healthy Living Revolution community at the Juice Plus Company is we love to help inspire people to live healthier, and we love to help give them the education to do so. So I just want to make sure I let you know about a couple of upcoming events. We do have next week, we have an event on the Shred. So when I was mentioning about the Shred 10 program, and that was kind of curious to you, on the 24th, Thursday the 24th at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, we are going to do a Zoom like this about the Shred, because we will start another Shred group in February. So make sure you let us know if that is you, and if you'd like to go ahead and join us, we'd love to have you for that as well. So good night for now, and thanks again for joining us.